Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to make yourself a cup of coffee or something hot if you want, because today we have very interesting stories, and one of them is a story about a woman who crashed into OP's car and tried to convince police it was OP's fault. Please subscribe if you haven't and I hope you'll enjoy it. I work as a volunteer and adoption coordinator for a local animal rescue group. It's a pretty small organization that I've been with for quite some time now. We don't have our own shelter, but we're partnered with a couple of pet supply chain stores that help us get some of our animals out in the open for people to see, specifically the company where the pets go. Well, in light of the COVID crisis, and given that our governor issued a shelter-at-home order, we decided that, despite the fact that the store was staying open to serve the community, we would be pulling our cats out of the in-store habitat and placing them with fosters until this whole situation calms down. We did this for the safety of our volunteers and so that we don't create another gathering point where people will undoubtedly mash their faces and hands on the habitat to try and pet the cats through the door. I went in yesterday to meet our foster and to do a deep clean of the habitat itself. I showed up a bit before our foster did, in worn-out gym clothes, with my earbuds in. The staff all wear jeans, a store-branded shirt and a name tag. I decided to get a head start on the cleaning while waiting for the foster to show. I set up the foldable barriers they use for their puppy training class to prevent people from getting in my way and or accidentally touching cleaning chemicals. The store was mostly empty, but I wanted to be on the safe side. Our story begins, as so many do on this sub, with some witchy Karen flying out of the ether with her spawn in tow. Excuse me, does anyone work around here? I've been looking for someone to help me for almost 30 minutes now, and I can't find anyone. I'm sorry about that, ma'am. The staff are all in front. They must have thought the store was still empty. Points to staff, there they are. Why can't you help me? Oh, I don't work for the store. I volunteer with the rescue group. So I don't know where everything you're looking for is. Manager over there can help you. Ugh. Your generation doesn't understand good customer service at all. Heaven forbid you should ever take out your headphones and help a customer. I can't believe your boss lets you wear those in front of customers. Manager, who's a super chill older dude, walks over after seeing I'm harassing me. Manager. How can I help you, ma'am? Are you the manager? Manager. Yes. You should really have a talk with your employee here. He was very rude to me and refused to help me. He doesn't work here. What do you mean he doesn't work here? Do you let random people clean the store? He's a volunteer for the rescue group we're partnered with. They're responsible for the habitat, not us. I can help you find what you're looking for. Fine. I'm looking for item for her dog. Manager walks off with her and listens to her witch about how the store has no employees around. Knowing this manager, he's probably tuning her out. His staff are all really good at their jobs. They probably legitimately thought the store was empty. I went back to cleaning, and our foster mom showed up to pick up the 2 kittens we had in the habitat. We greeted each other and I led her behind my barrier to come pull out the kittens. We made small talk for a few minutes, thanking her for being so understanding about the whole situation when EM comes back for more. As she approaches, we're pulling the kittens out of the habitat and loading them into carriers to be taken. EM spawn notices. Mommy. I want to pet the kitty. Of course, sweetie, looks at Foster, can we hold the kittens please? My son wants to play with it. I'm sorry, ma'am. We're not allowing visitation right now. You're letting her hold them. She's our foster mom. She's being kind enough to home them for a while until this health crisis calms down. Well, can't we just hold them for a few minutes? I'm sorry, but no. We're doing all we can to minimize human contact right now. Any other time I would say yes, but I'm sorry, but no. We're doing all we can to minimize human contact right now. Any other time I would say yes, but we're trying to be as cautious as possible, especially since it's not confirmed whether or not this disease is transmittable to pets. I'm not sick. With all due respect, unless you were tested for COVID in the last 15 minutes, neither one of us knows that for sure. I do not wish to jeopardize your health or ours. Please understand. Ugh, you're being so dramatic, it's just a flu. You should stop listening to the lamestream media and learn some facts. I wanna pet the kitty, I wanna. Now you made my son cry. Fine. I want to take one of those kittens home myself. How much are they? They're $100 each to adopt, but it's not that easy. You need to fill out an application. Oh, for goodness sake, they're just cats. I can go find one on the street. What's the big deal? We want them to go to good homes that will fit their personalities and your lifestyle. We ask for an application and an interview with our adoption coordinator to ensure that nobody winds up in the wrong home. And you don't think I take care of my animals? Not at all, ma'am. This is just our process. We need to make sure that the cats we adopt go to homes where they'll do well in, and that the family that takes them will mesh with the cat's personality. Please respect it. Any other animal shelter will require you to do the same. I don't care. My son wants to hold the cat. Let him hold it now. No. Fine. I'll be waiting in the parking lot for them. Maybe you'll change your tune when you're not on camera. Excuse me, did you just threaten me and my animals? I don't know about that. Maybe I did, maybe you hand over one of the cats and we call it even. Oh hell no. Manager, who was watching from a distance, runs over at the speed of a spry but still elderly gentleman. What's wrong, my name? Call the police. This lady just threatened to assault our foster and steal her cats. Manager pulls the phone off his belt and immediately calls the cops. Panicking, the woman grabs her still sobbing kid and books it out of the store, abandoning her cart. Manager tells the police to cancel the call because the lady just bounced. We waited and watched for a few minutes to make sure Karen didn't come back and that our foster was safe. We had Karen's face on camera so they know to watch for her next time. I hope she does try to adopt from us. It'll be the fastest denial I'll ever have the pleasure of issuing. You know, it is my lifelong dream to encounter a feral Karen in the wild. I cannot imagine what makes these people think they can just do whatever they want without regard to other people. Near my house there is an abandoned house, the owner passed away, don't know, maybe 2012. I met him, he was a good man, never had children, but he had nephews. After his death, a woman went to live to his house, nobody told anything because neighbors used to think that she was his niece, nope, she isn't. The true nephew went to that house last week and found that Karen is living in the house that his uncle left him. Well, I live like 3 or 4 houses left to her, so I could hear her scream that she bought that house years ago and she has all the papers of that house and she is the owner. The truth. Another Karen sold her that house, she works in the town hall and got the papers of the house when Karen number 1, we're going to call her Joan now, and Sam, true owner of the house, went to talk with Karen. She at first denied everything. Then the police went with them. Karen screamed that she had the right to do that because she did a lot of things for this town and nobody was to claim that house after all, so she did it and sold it. Sam reported her for property theft and Joan for scam. Karen got fired of her work counselor and now she is being investigated. With this thing of pandemic all the courts are closed, but Sam is lawyer, he asks favor to his friends and Karen was summoned to court in March. Now the house, Sam and Joan agreed that he is going to sell the house to her, but they're going to ask in the trial that Karen pay to Sam the money that Joan gave her for the house and the new papers of property and a compensation to both. Sam is going to take that money and Joan will be the legal owner of that house. Sam wasn't interested on the house. He just came to see what his uncle left him and think what could he do with that. That is basically the story, the source. Joan told everything to my sister who have a store in her house, she told us, and well Joan told this story to every people she knows. She isn't a bad woman, but she could be a Karen when she wants. I can't blame Joan for kicking off, to be honest. Finding out your home isn't your home. Terrifying. Title insurance should find the house is stolen and block the sale. So little backstory, I have a really nice gray Land Cruiser that looks like a monster truck and it costs a lot of money. Not because of the car itself, but mostly the parts inside of it. I live in a pretty good neighborhood, but it happens to be right next to the most busy road in my area. Also, I was underage when it comes to drinking, so I have never had alcohol in my life unless I was at church. So let's meet the cast. BM. Horrifying excuse for a mom, PK. Poor kid not really playing a part in this story, PO. Police officer aka my guardian angel, me. Most lucky guy in the world. Alright, let's start. So I get a message from my co-worker saying that there is a problem at work and I'd better come over. I work at a computer repair shop, so if there's a problem where they have to call me in, it is usually $100 or $1,000 problem that requires most hands on deck. So I get out of my house, get in my Land Cruiser, and drive off in a bit of a rush. A few minutes pass and I'm about 3 miles away from work. I stop at a red light in this really busy intersection on the most busy freaking road in the entire country There are car crashes here almost every other day. One time it happened twice in one day, so it is no surprise that I got into one at this intersection. So the light turned green and I was in rush, so I was well in front of the cars beside me. Then just as I'm about to clear the intersection, a big red minivan T-bones me and we both go sliding in different directions, me not as much because my car is much heavier than hers. I almost passed out because of shock and looked out my window to see who dropped a missile strike to the right of my car. I get out of my car and it is in pretty bad shape. There is a huge dent right next to the passenger side door and the glass is broken on the mirror, luckily nothing else that is visible. Enter M and PK. What were you doing, trying to drive ahead like that on a red light? You could have killed me, or my baby in that crash, and we have a very important birthday to go to. I'm sorry, but it was a green light for me, not for you, and I had the right of way. No, you didn't have the right of way, we had the right of way, not you. Explain to me how you had the right of way. I don't have to explain to you, you drunk idiot. Once again, underage, never drank in my life. Are you going to pay for my car or what? Her car, the red minivan, looks almost like the front of it was blown up, then rammed by 100 bulls and a couple wrecking balls. I am honestly surprised that she and her son survived because the driver's seat headrest was impaled by a piece of metal. Satan is most likely protecting his husband from any harm, so she can be the biggest Karen this world has ever seen. No, you are going to pay for it along with the damage you did to my car. This was the wrong thing to say. Excuse me, you drunk jerk, you honestly think I'm going to pay for your crappy butt truck that you and your drinking buddy probably pulled out of a trash pile? Yes, which? Again, also wrong thing to say. How dare you treat me like that in front of my kid, you stupid piece of crap. My darling should never be exposed to your potty mouth. Your mother probably left you for dead because you were the most ugly piece of crap in the whole family of 20 kids, and the orphanage that you currently live in got tired of your crap, so they gave you $100 to got buy this piece of crap lump of metal with wheels. That is it, I'm calling the cops if someone hasn't already done so. Mommy, please stop harassing him, he's done nothing wrong. He's done everything wrong. About 10 minutes later of yelling, 3 cop cars and an ambulance arrive. Excuse me sir, what happened here? Well, I was go. It was horrible, officer. This man was drunk driving. Once again, I was clearly underage and ran a red light which was clearly visible and almost killed me and my baby. That is not true, officer. This woman is clearly lying to you. You can see that I am sober and there were a ton of witnesses to the accident and what ensued, and they can tell you that she is in the wrong. Well, I might as well check both of you and the security cameras. There were security cameras in the intersection that recorded everything. Oh, there's no need of doing that, we will just exchange info. And I'm sorry ma'am, but it is required that I know what happened and which of you is in the wrong, so we will be watching the cam footage together. The police officer found the accident and saw that EM was clearly running a red light and she was speeding by at least 20 miles over the limit. The limit was 50. He then checks us both with a breathalyzer and I am completely sober, but she, sorry couldn't remember the exact number, was the equivalent of, quoting the police officer, having both eyes closed and driving with your feet drunk. They even found a bottle of Jack Daniels in the passenger side back seat half empty. However, the best part is still to come. Turns out she was never going to a birthday party, she was actually leaving the city. Oh, why you ask? Because turns out she had 3 pouches of powder, worth maybe $2,000, in her trunk. Does it end there? No, 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 no. She was packing heat and quite a bit for my state. That's right, police found a loaded handgun and a 6-inch switchblade in the center console. Combine all of that and you get $5,600 in repairs to my car and a couple of thousand more reprimands, 10.5 years in prison, 3 years on probation, and plenty of parenting classes. Not to mention the several $100 speeding ticket she received before they found the medicine and weapons. EK was sent to his blood father, who actually divorced his mother because of the medicine and her alcoholism. Personally, I wouldn't even call that waste of human potential a mother. She brought her only son on a medication trafficking trip. This is the craziest crap. She probably didn't expect that ending. I actually feel bad for the kid. He even told her to stop, but I'm glad they are at their blood father's house. GB, good buddy. EM, his entitled demon of a mother. BG, birthday girl. GM, girl's mother. GF, girl's father. EM was going to her company worker's daughter's birthday party because she is a good cook. EM had to take GB, who was about 8 at the time. EM wasn't abusive yet, and he had to be taken due to the father abandoning them. GB was delighted to go and wanted to meet the girl because maybe they could be friends. They set off for the party. They meet the parents at 1 p.m. when they are preparing for the daughter to return from a local pool event she was excited about. EM had brought the cake and a huge line of meals to impress them. Everyone was astonished. But no one but GB knew everything besides the cake was bought and disguised to look original. EM forced to keep it a secret. BG arrives with GF. Everyone in the room. Surprise, thank you so much. Look at this food I made for you. Thank you, but I'm not hungry right now. That was the wrong words, but I made the food, eat it. No, I'm fine, thank you. She doesn't need to eat it if she does. I made this nice food for everyone, let's eat then open presents. Sure. Let's eat. Everyone goes to the table and begins to eat, but no EM shows up at first. Do you like the food? I love it. Thank you. As everyone finishes, we go to table with presents and BG starts counting and says, oh wow, 14 presents. Now these presents were huge except one. GB saw GM and GF look at each other with worry. What's wrong? We bought 34 presents, not 14, she tried to speak quietly. It wasn't enough. Now EM looked worried but didn't flinch. GB saw her and she walked away. GB was now suspicious. She didn't prepare the food, she bought off-brand out-of-town food. GM and GF now look worried and look out the window and see EM about to drive away, but she forgot cars are blocking her in. Everyone in the party sees, she comes in. GB, we need to go. Why? Well, we need. Why did you steal the presents and fake your cooking? What are you talking about? Give them back. But I cook, so shouldn't I get something? I did prepare all the food and gave that mug, the small present, they're mine. Mum, just give them back. No, I got them for you. She dragged GB outside and got in the car. But she didn't realize she left the ignition keys on the table, and I handed them to GF. She looked at GB with a death glare. What did you do? I gave him the keys so you couldn't leave. You deserve these presents more than they do. No. You can't take a 6-year-old's presents just cause I deserve them, give them back now. EM gives back the presents, but when they got home, this is where the abuse started for GB. I feel sorry for him now and I'm happy he is in foster care. Your friend is a mad lad. For saying that his mother stole it. Big respect. I'm glad he doesn't have to put up with her crap anymore, what a witch. Well guys, that's it for today. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider subscribing, and if you missed the last episode on the channel, I'm gonna link it right here. The story is about a woman who caused a scene when her kids lost in a laser tag game. Check this out if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next video.